water and all. So there is one very good NGO who started working in the Rajasthan. In Rajasthan, we know we don't have water, we don't have facilities. They started making puppets, and that puppets have become the world famous. Then they started into dairy. Then they start into teaching of school and all. Then they started teach children. You know, there is an old saying: if you teach a male, what will happen? The country get educated. But if you teach a female, the family get educated. Because an educated female, 110% she will send her children to school. This is what we have learned. NRI husbands. If I take this name, you know which state will be blamed?
Punjab.
I'm not saying it. You know, there is a capitalism which is going on in the society to have a better standard, to have a better living. And India may foreign, you know, foreign undergarments also shown. Dekh bhai foreign se liye. When you have a damad who is working in a foreign country, वहाँ toilet भी साफ करते कोई दिक्कत नहीं. I'm not saying कोई काम छोटा बड़ा है. But if he is doing a menial job, he is there in America. हमारा दामाद तो अमेरिका का है, NRI है. To get this kind of self-esteem, to get this kind of image, we are having what? NRI husband. There are 40% cases, there are 30% cases in which either they are getting domestic violence, or in 10 to 20% cases even the female have been lost. We don't have any idea where is that female. We don't have any counter, because the first thing which happens is that these people will take away their passport size passports, and they will take their complete identity. So what will happen? Where will she go? Even the police will catch you that you are running without identity. So this is the case which is happening. So NRI husband का concept बहुत deadly है India. Okay. Then child prostitution and human trafficking. No wonder we can get a world record का award इसमें. In child prostitution, human trafficking is fine. I don't think we need to discuss more. Let's talk about social stigma.
Throw some data, please.
Huh?
Throw some data. Child.
डेटा उतना मेरे को याद नहीं है, एक बार चेक कर लेना. इसलिए मैं बोलता हूँ गूगल में थोड़ा फर्क करते चलो. सोशल स्टिग्मा है, आई हैव डेटा, इसमें इसके बाद में डेटा ही डेटा है, ठीक है. बाद में तुम खुद ही सोचोगे बात करो डेटा, यू विल वॉमिट डेटा ना. सोशल स्टिग्मा, सेल्फ जस्टिफिकेशन. व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय दैट? व्हाट इज द सोशल स्टिग्मा ऑफ सेल्फ जस्टिफिकेशन?
Female takes a certain decision for her life, she has to justify it to every member of the society. Like if a lady is a widow and she decides to get remarried, okay, there will be 10 people in society questioning her decision why did you get remarried.
If you see me, if I have 5 girlfriends, you will call me stud. Sir, stud. 5 girls. If I was a female standing here, if I had a 5 boyfriend, एक बहुत अच्छा चल भी रहा है.
Replace the team with him.
ठीक है. And then there is one video which is going on. Why rape is so fun. हाँ, joke in the Okay. See, somewhere down the line, this has got repeated so many times that if you see the female which have been working in the houses, they have accepted it that male are there to govern us and they have to be governed according to the wishes of the male. This has been downloaded their mind. If I go by sociological perspective, तुम शायद मुझे गलत भी बोल सकते हो. You have seen what are the clothes, what a male wears. हमें क्या पहनते हैं? Pant shirt. Can you wear a pink shirt? बड़े बड़े फूल बने हुए. Can you wear? You cannot wear. Can you wear a Govinda dress, yellow jeans, large shirt? Can you wear? But if you see females, they can wear whatever they want, with all saris, all earrings. Why? Why so much of jewelry for females and not now? We have been wearing jewelry at par, right? अपने श्री राम और सीता जी का ज्वेलरी ऑलमोस्ट सेम ही था, कम नहीं पहने, एक जैसा. But now, who wear more jewelry? Because it is a society game plan that you should be, you know, exhausting your mind in your makeup only. You should not come into the economical activity. Get engrossed there itself. Makeup करते रहो, पूरा टाइम उसी वाला. मेल आएगा, डायमंड रिंग दे देगा, खुश रहो. 3 हफ्ते तक दिया है. This is a kind of a surgical mindset you are doing. You can criticize me कि सर क्या हो गया, बहुत फीमेल कर रहे हो. But this is there. अभी मेल भी करो, don't worry. Then this is a very good thing which is happening. In fact, they have added a chapter subject ethics in the civil services examination because they want their future bureaucrats to know about ethics, morality. See, mobile will come to us, but discipline of keeping mobile will not come to us. बहुत तगड़ी मीटिंग हो रही है, प्यारे रहे दिल मांगे प्यारे रहे, ओ सॉरी, ठीक. So we have to have learned this habit कि we have to keep the mobile in the silent mode. और सुभान अल्लाह लोकसभा में तो बहुत अच्छा इस्तेमाल हो रहा है मोबाइल ठीक है. So when I'm talking about social and economic upgradation, same thing is not happening. You know, a lady takes into school, she goes into college, somehow proves to her parents that I can become your son. और दुख की बात यह है कि if she is working hard enough and she is economically become dependent, उसके बाबा उसको कहते हैं मेरी बेटी नहीं मेरा बेटा है. It means थक हार के आगे बढ़ भी जाओगे तो मुकुट तो बेटा का ही पहना. लास्ट वर्ल्ड कप वही फीमेल डायनेस्टी से मिलना है, जस्ट लाइक अमेरिका वर्सेस अदर कंट्रीज. ओके, सो ethics and morality says that you should end all these dialogues. You should stop talking in this particular foreign languages, which is not acceptable. And if that lady does all that hard work and she enters the corporate world, तो sexual harassment cases आते रहते हैं. ठीक है? I feel now you feel the pinch. If you are walking by the road, by the time you reach there, if I talk to my male friends, हम बहुत बिंदास होते हैं, हमें कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. If 3 girls are looking at, देख रहा भाई. It's not like that. क्या पहना है तूने, क्या खाया है, शेविंग किया है तूने, तो दूर खड़ा है मुझसे, and then discussion चालू हो जाएगा, तुझे देख रही थी मुझे देख रही थी, तो but they will not comment. But once you are suppose you go to a girls hostel and you start getting comments, even Amitabh Bachchan in his KBC episodes told that when he was going to Miranda House, 3-4 girls started to comment and he was very much ashamed. Then you understood that what they might have felt when he was passing a comment or doing a eavesdropping. Okay, so it's not me, it is the film stars. Amitabh Sahab bhi yahi bol rahe. Okay. Now if I talk about caste conflicts, if I talk about Godhra riots, you have heard about it?
Yes, sir.
I will not go into intensity. Narendra Modi अब प्रधानमंत्री कुछ नहीं बोल. If I go into the Godhra riots, each one of is killing each other. Who is the last person who is to have the pain? Who is the last sufferer here? The female. I remember the fight which Ashoka war. Ashoka war जो किया था, Kalinga war, he killed many people. And when he came in the battlefield to enjoy the particular winning authority kind of a thing, he only heard about crying and gross crying. It was widows and children who were crying. So even it's a caste conflict or whether it's a war, the ultimate pain has to come because either of the ladies are losing his son, brother, sister, whatever the case. This is it. Now what is this consumeristic lifestyle? Commodification of women. You have seen modeling?
Yes, sir.
I know, मैं तो इंडिया में मतलब जब भी ये ब्यूटी कॉन्टेस्ट होता है, सबसे पहले हम क्या बोलो, स्विम सूट वाला कॉन्टेस्ट खत्म हो गया क्या? उसके बाद मतलब ही नहीं है कौन जीता नहीं का मतलब, वो वाला खत्म चल रहा है, तू जल्दी आना. If a lady is taking this job because she wants to aspire and she wants to see herself in the world, this is a very much libido. How the clothes is playing a role here. If I ask you to, these people have told you about that Priyanka Gandhi to wear a micro mini skirt and a t-shirt and to roam about in the Delhi roads in 130 to 230 road, nobody will dare to touch her because they know the consequences is going to be dire. So it is not the law, it's not the ideology, it's the consequences which is allowing you to do it. और किसने सही कहा है, NCR region is a Bermuda Triangle, जहाँ रेप का victim का कोई सजा होता ही नहीं, उस सजा वहाँ से उड़ जाती है. Okay, I will talk about committees also. So consumer lifestyle is nothing but the commodification of women which is happening. Go to the next one.
So can you talk about the Bangalore?
Yeah?
Bangalore.
Not the leftist but the rightist. In Bangalore, a few of the professional women were having this wine, and this particular person went this rightist wing and they thrashed, slapped almost all the women, throw them कि आप औरत हैं, आप शराब कैसे पी सकती है. Now moral policing is no. There are some part of the society or some people who are thinking that they are the contractors of keeping this culture live. उनके पास contract है, भगवान के पास है, ठीक है, कि आपको society को सुधारना है, ठीक है, decomposers की तरह. So these people what they are doing, they are entering. I remember in the Valentine Day in Pune and in Shiv Sena, और उसके बाद उनके भतीजे
The Raj Thakre.
Raj Thakre purposely were hitting girls, things like boys, Now, what kind of moral policing you are doing in this particular orientation? It is not legalized. In fact, the guy who's doing his IS training in the second year in LBS Missouri, he has posted a Facebook in which there is one particular couple in Maharashtra getting beaten up black and blue just because they were sitting together. In one of my personal case, it is a very famous case of Pune. When I was there in second year of my graduation, I know that girl, not but I know her. She was sitting with her boyfriend. Everybody from Pune, Symbiosis Hill, pata hai? Symbiosis College, you know. They were sitting together, and there were just few guys who came. They told they are they are police in a civil dress. How come you are sitting here? Go and get your I card. That police guy he went away for his I card by the time that girl was raped in the Pune University, and then after that she was there. So these kind of moral policing and kind of things which is happening. Okay. So if you want to remember, always remember moral police Bangalore pub case, because this was the case which triggered it. After this only moral policing come to be called a criticism after this Bangalore pub case.
Okay. अभी जो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण I think case of
There should be there who will be talking about the rape victims. The gynae, doctor and the nurse will be taking care of the medical things, and the reporting and everything will be done by a lady inspector. Okay, so that that particular female does not have that pain of across going through rape and again going to a new kind of inquiry and queries, things like that. So that was a very good output. I'm not very sure how much they have applied to the NCR region, but it is there. It is this because Delhi is the highest. Let me give you one data. If I talk about per capita rape cases, it started with 1.8 in India and today it's 2. Okay, but in US it is 28.6 out of 1 lakh. Means if there is 1 lakh person, there are 2 rapes happening per capita. And if there are 1 lakh person in the United States of America, 28.6% are happening. The highest is South Africa, which is 114.6. But the case is not like that actually. Out of 10 rapes in India, just 1 get reported. But in the United States of America, 48% gets reported. That is why we are below in the rape cases. So that is there. The audacity of telling to the people, because the first question is mother and father is also asking that, teri shaadi ab nahi hogi if you go and tell. These are many things which we have heard about the rape victims from their mouth. Okay? And Justice Verma is about sexual assault which is happening. She had given her justification. You just have to know the name of the committee and the cause. Yeah, important. So that you can use in your GD or PL. I wanted to have this this particular particular census. We have started to include transgender and all. Okay, now we are also thinking that in the school forms or in the government forms or in educational forms, we will be having a transgender, like we need to have male and female. Now we will also give it credit to their section, so they can also take with equal respect. Actually, if I talk about women prison, as I've written, 4% of the population in the female in the prison sector is of female. So we need to do some work. Basically, I want to talk about prostitution. I want you to have a 5 minutes debate. This side can act that prostitution should be legalized, and this side should say that prostitution should not be legalized. You can take 5 minutes and you can start. You can use some of the data which I have written here.
I think legalizing will reduce the number of cases. As you said that the biological demand.
Listen to him what he is saying, because you have to counter attack.
Please be louder.
My point is that legalizing would reduce the number of rape cases in India, as mentioned that there is a biological demand with the sex ratio decreasing. So that is what the reason for rapes is, and
Because that is not the only reason for rape, like biological need is not the only reason. It's also the mindset of the people. The fact that we are now viewing the woman as a commodity and not as an individual. So it's not just the biological part. And is there any data to support the fact that if prostitution is legalized, is there any data to support the fact that if prostitution is legalized, then the rape cases will reduce?
No, we should take care of the fact that women should not be forced into this profession. Yeah, there's another point that prostitution should be legalized, because even if prostitutes are raped, they are females, and when it is not legalized, they cannot even report to the police because
Why can't they
Because it is
why can't they
illegal.
Because being in a
There's
profession,
an absence of
no,
treating it as their
the
profession.
police wala really knows that this is a profession because the police is in knowledge of what is going around. But they
don't do anything
don't.
about it, are they?
Yeah,
So,
but
Before legalizing prostitution, a sound framework has to be created because this can lead to an endemic
Yeah, it's
spreading
actually.
sexually transmitted
Can
disease.
you name countries which has legalized prostitution and prostitution of those
Germany has legalized prostitution.
Ukraine, Thailand are there. Thailand, in which the people have made it to be a global profession.
yeah.
In fact, people are going to Thailand just because of that particular orientation.
So framework has to be
I'm sorry, थोड़ा सा बोल दिए के खिलाफ आपके खिलाफ or you can say on that side. See, what I'm trying to do is that I'm just going to upgrade your debate with certain facts which you're missing it out. See, if you don't have any idea, first thing is that you can talk about sociological perspective, mental mindset of a woman, compulsion, okay, human trafficking you can talk about, laws are playing a role or not, whether this will be acceptable in your culture or not, and you can see a global perspective which will happen in India. You can talk about it now.
I think prostitution should not be legalized because if we legalizing means that we will be bringing in the government to form the laws regarding the entire prostitution scene.
At present, there's so much human trafficking already. There's human trafficking is so
Getting
high
a
that
license to- You are talking about law, right?
if you legalize this,
If prostitution get legalized, all these ladies who are having a tough time, who already entered, and they cannot come back. If it is legalized, government have to come with something. They will have the more meaningful fundamental rights. They can have identity cards.
But it could also lead to harassment.
No, I'm just talking to them. They can have their identity cards. They will be registered under the government employee sector. If something has happened to them, they will not be vulnerable. Neither police can attack them, neither this pimps who is working, they cannot get exploited. Fifth, if somebody is an AIDS patient, they can get the help, medical help. And if any AIDS customer is coming to them, they will not be, compelled. They don't be any compulsion that they have to do it. Mind it, if one particular person is having HIV, for 1 month he is sound negative. If you take his report for 1 month, will be negative. After 1 month only, you can find that particular person is having AIDS. In that particular vacuum time, when you are not very sure that he is HIV or not, imagine the kind of AIDS circulation will that person be doing it. So you can talk in that way.
So basically, we have the policy framework which is sounding very euphoric, but the point is that the ground reality when it comes to implementation of all of these plans is completely different. So if supposedly you say that there will be identity cards and all, and there will be something which tells them that okay, this person is a prostitute, won't this lead to more discrimination and basically lead to more...
To her question, you have anything? During Chandragupta Maurya, who was the most precious people?
Why would she be ashamed?
it's a choice of
It's all
profession.
about being
It's
ashamed. So if basically...
It's not a choice, you're actually giving her a license.
One major reason of being ashamed is that in the present scenario it is not legalized. If it would have been legalized, women in the first place would not be ashamed of
Okay,
it.
To add to their point, I will add 2 points to them.
India,
Two things.
prostitution
There are-
is considered as a illegal.
If I'm talking prostitution, it's about the mindset again. I remember Chandragupta Maurya dynasty, in which the prostitutions, the lady who was involved in prostitution was respected the most. You know that or not? And it was the story of Gautam Buddha during that time of prostitution was an Amrapali. When she arrived at his particular monastery, Buddha was teaching his students. He left the position and asked that particular lady to come and sit. She told that I am being a prostitute, you know my job, and still you are such a sacred kind of person. How did you leave job and applying me to sit here? He told you being a lady itself is a quite commendable respect, irrespective of whatever job you do. Answer that. So why did Okay, so now I settle down. It's no more debate. You tell me whether it should be there or should not be there. It should not be there. It should not be there. Legalization of prostitution should not happen. Why? At this stage, because it should happen at that stage when your society is mature enough. How many males sitting here could marry a particular girl whom we know had a baby beforehand or have been in a sexual relation with so many guys? So you read, there are some few hands which I can see. अगर ये arrange match हो रहा था, love में तो कर ही लो. Arrange होता तो ठीक है, so I can say few more words at the time आएगा हाथ उठेगा.
So, but the society isn't that mature because there was a social experiment wherein they asked people if they would marry rape victims, and generally all the people like said no, and a lot of guys didn't answer the question. Some were yes, some were brave enough to say yes, but I don't know whether they would actually do it, like saying aloud in front of a camera and just like for the sake of being a proper
See, actually,
So
person.
same for the female as well. If you ask that how many women will marry a guy who has a child before some. Then let's see how many.
So a lot.
Yes, we need to discuss everybody's mindset.
A lot of guys are remarried. After like a lot of guys are remarried.
I think so I should cut it. Transgender इस बार के census में भी involved हो चुका है, and remember that, okay, they have been given extra privilege that they will be involved in this extra forms documents में, हर एक government documents में इनका नाम
So
होगा.
your viewpoint about legalization of prostitution is no at this point of time or no in general?
It should not be there at this point of time. Because again, I will be somewhere down the line, I will be doing the commodification, and you know what will happen? The future generation will able to distinguish that this particular lady is there in the prostitution case and this lady is not there. Will this he or he will have that kind of mindset to respect that fact that this is just her job and can have a cup of coffee after her job, like you doing a job in the office.
Sir, but
after
truth is, in India, prostitution is not illegal. Say, okay.
No. Mind it. In India, it is not pronounced as illegal or legal. Like in some of the countries who have illegal, it is totally dependent on the minds of the particular government. Vote politics चाहिए, अब मैं ज़्यादा नहीं बोल सकता, तो illegal कर दो, अगर नहीं है तो legal कर दो.
नहीं,
Sir, but it can be done that it should be legalized in some areas like New Delhi or
See, I tell you the history behind it. See, once blacksmith job got legalized, pottery job got legalized. In Andhra Pradesh also there was some people whose actually job was in the case of this era on, the prostitution. They were there in this job from the time immemorial. So they also demanded that why you people are not legalizing our business. So somewhere down the line, the people thought the average culture of India does not permit this to happen. It is not about specific culture, it is about the average amount of people. There are some tribes, I will not take names, can only do a marriage if that lady has a child in beforehand. In Africa, you have a tribe in which a girl should have a child in order to get married. You know why? It's a very logical. In tribal society, they want fertility. Fertility is prayed. They want to know whether this girl is fertile or not. So if she has having a child, it means she is fertile. If I marry her, she will have more child for my family. This is the legitimate test is there. So one society is accepting this, one society is not accepting it. So in India, average amount of culture is saying that no, we should not allow. That's what is there. Okay, we'll move. Yes, sanitation is one of the most.
Transgender party.
Yeah.
Transgender party is that.
Transgender party, just remember that. I don't rule 377 नहीं बोल सकते. I don't want to discuss all that. It's debatable. Sanitation, yes. See, in India, people, basically children under the 5 are dying because of diarrhea and cholera. If 20 people are dying in India, one death out of that is because of sanitation lack. Okay. Now, there is a lack of GDP growth rate by 6.4%. Our GDP is not able to grow just because of the lack of sanitation, and that is how much is 6.4%. In across the world, 1 billion people do not have proper sanitation, and happy to know that 600 million people in India itself. 1 billion people do not have access to sanitation, and 600 million people. In fact, we have left behind African countries also. We have left behind African countries also. If you talk about Botswana, there basically Nigeria have largest amount of slums in African countries. Nigeria has one of the largest slums in the African countries, and they do not also have so much of problem what we in our country is having. Okay. So just see the data. You know, we have 1/5 of the global tuberculosis cases in our India just because of lack of sanitation. I have just mentioned here few of the diseases like stunt growth in children, cholera and diarrhea, but there are 15 diseases which is happening because of sanitation. Dengue hai, chikungunya hai, malaria hai, hell lot of diseases are there which is just because of poor sanitation which is going on. So what your country is doing to overcome this sanitation program? Swachh Bharat mission is all are going on. You have to use this so to propagate. Yes. Yes, say. MG Narega, हाँ जोड़ दिया, right?
सर एक बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल स्कीम राजस्थान गवर्नमेंट ने किया था टू अभी जो पंचायत इलेक्शंस थे, द गवर्नमेंट मेड इट मैंडेटरी फॉर पीपल हु आर स्टैंडिंग फॉर द इलेक्शन दे नीड टू हैव अ टॉयलेट इन देयर हाउस. So in 2 months, I think more than there's a huge number of toilets that were made, which is more than the toilets that the government could get built over 6 years by spending so much money. उससे उतना नहीं हुआ जितना this simple rule could get so many toilets made in 2 months. So I think this is a very good scheme that.
See, this is also a very much problem down the line. Why we do not if I talk about urban area, you know what, standard of living is just how in urban area तो बहुत developed हो, बहुत open minded हो, ये कैसे पता चलता है? If suppose I come to your house and I want to use your toilet और मैंने तुम्हारे toilet में देखा commode है, पता यार hi-fi है. And if I see an Indian toilet, ये वही देसी लोग यार. It means in urban area your standard of living is decided by the kind of washroom you are using. If that's the scenario, what is going wrong in the rural area? Why the rural area don't find toilets inside the houses? You have an answer. Why in the rural areas these people do not have toilets inside them? Huh?
Lack of space.
गाँव में कहाँ lack of space? जब open है, defecation करने के लिए space की कमी है.
In the house.
Lack of labor dentals.
हाँ?
Lack of labor dentals.
Mentality.
It's a custom.
हाउस में नहीं होना चाहिए.
All the pious activities are done in the home. पूजास, अर्चना, ये सब ठीक है ना? ये सब होता है. सारे जो मेहनत वाले काम है, पूजा, अर्चना, आराधना, ये सब गर्ल्स के नाम. In fact, India इतना कंजूस है कि अगर if I take the girl's name, 80% of the girl's name will either A with A, I or R. What's your name? 80% name either A will A, I or R. अब कोई अच्छा सा नाम रख दिया फॉरेन से बाहर कोई स्वीटी वीटी तो अलग है. बट इंडियन नेम में उधर भी कंजूसी है. इनफैक्ट 70% नाम तो ए से ही खत्म होगा. योर ऑल योर एक्ट्रेसेस फेवरेट एक्ट्रेसेस थिंक ऑफ हर. घर पे सोचते रहना, ढूंढते रहना यू. ओके, नाउ सी देयर वाज अ टाइम. See now here I want to discuss something which is going on. We started planning commission on 15th March 1950 and this government has ended it by making a Niti Aayog. Okay, during that time Nehruji told that temples of India are the industries. Are what? Industries. And the second 5-year plan from 1956 to 1961 he talked about trickle down theory approach and rapid industrialization by huge steel plants were opened in Rourkela across the country, basically in Chota Nagpur plateau area. But today, in fact, Narendra Modi has said this statement that building toilets is a priority over temples, just because of the kind of growth rate which is going down, the kind of rapes which are increasing, and kind of under 5-year children who are dying. And the more children who are under 5 are females who are dying. So this is also one of the areas where government need to work so that our sex ratio in the 0 to 6 category can improve. Okay. And see, this is the what is the infant mortality definition? Before 1 year, the first birthday में 1000 में कितने बच्चे जिंदा रह पाते हैं? And this is in rural areas how much is it? 46, मतलब they are dying. And in urban how much is? 28. And in 12th 5-year plan target we have want to achieve at 25. The average out of we have to achieve at 25. Okay.
So when Jairam Ramesh said the same thing about building toilets, he was attacked by Ramdev supporters and all. When Jairam Ramesh was.
See, I cannot discuss political. I cannot discuss political here because sentiments are attached with the people. Okay. If you people allow me, I can expose many of the people. Okay.
Yes, sir.
No, I will not. You are allowing me, not the camera. But if you ask me, I can tell you one economical development. I tell you. Time पर gap चल रहा है. अच्छा, not on this. I will talk something which will be helpful to you. If you want to talk something which is helpful in your future endeavor. See, at that time when Britishers were going back from this country, So they questioned Nehru that we have 122 companies operating in India. Then they have to go back to India, we face heavy losses. So what Nehruji told, it is not all 122 companies, this is just one company which is British East India Company. So you take that company away and leave all your 122 companies here. Brook Bond is one of the example. In India, people what do not understand, they give it to the name of religion. If culture does not have an answer to it, if science does not have an answer to it, give into the name of religion. Maybe certain dresses are worn just because it was a climatic condition and dust particles were there to protect that dress was used. That has become a libido that you have to wear it. That is the case which is going on. United States of America have a toothpaste company in India which is called Colgate. You know this? Now Colgate does not have the same kind of profitability what US did to India. What US did? It knew that if you open a religious institution in India, what will happen? You can earn 3 times the profit because this is non-taxable in India. And the biggest example is the ISKCON temple. The kind of foreign earnings which they are doing with the kind of ISKCON temple, they are the 3 times the profitability of the Colgate non-taxable. And if you ask the followers of ISKCON temple, they will tell you, "वो क्या बोलते हैं आप क्यों ऐसा बोल रहे हो?" They told you not to eat non-veg, preach Gita and do things like that. The guys who do not understand are doing Hare Krishna, Hare Rama with a guitar. हम accept करते हैं. This is what the hypocrisy of India is that. You are living your Vedas, your text, and if you know in India we have representative democracy, only panchayat is there where you have a participative democracy because people stand there to take the decision for themselves, get heard and get a solution. See, panchayat can only work when it has financial independence. That is why each